Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Jason. Jason is from Suffolk in England, in the UK. So let's see what Jason has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Jason. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
So, tell me, how was your day today?
Well, I had a universal credit appointment, so a little boring, but is what it is.
So, tell me, what has been the highlight of your week so far?
Well, I started filming for a series I'm gonna be in on Monday, so that's
Wow.
definitely been it. A lot of bloopers that day.
So, tell me a little bit about the series. It's okay to talk about, or it's too early? It's not a lot.
So the only thing I can say is like the title of it because it was put up on a Kickstarter. It's called the Yapwood Mystery. Other than that, I can't say anything else because of NDA and all that.
That's amazing. And how this opportunity came along?
So it was on Star now. I haven't been on there much, but I got sent an invitation to audition for something, and so I went and auditioned for it, but I had to make another account to do that. So yeah, I put the audition through, and I kept checking because I was like paranoid I wouldn't get it, and then after about a week or so, I ended up getting a message back or an email or something saying I got the role. So I was like, yeah, I was cool.
That's amazing. Congratulations. It's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Wow. So tell me, Jason, where are you from?
So originally I'm from Edmonton in London, so near Enfield Borough. And then we moved up to Suffolk in 2015 because our family kind of got a little too big for the house we were currently in and couldn't afford to live down there anymore. So then we
Right.
moved up here. Yeah, so I've been up here for about 10 years. I'm in Suffolk now.
Oh, wow. So tell me something interesting about Suffolk, something that stands out compared with other places in the UK.
Well, I guess the two most interesting things about Suffolk, because there isn't much, what's his name? Ralph Fiennes, who played Lord Voldemort, he was born here. So is Ed Sheeran. So there's two people, two famous people born in Suffolk. Um, what else is there? I mean, it's a pretty old-fashioned, I'd say, kind of county. Like, there's a lot of structures that are still kind of back in time, if that makes sense.
Amazing. Okay, Jason, of course, we got connected through TikTok, and
Mhm.
I know you are an actor. You are a voiceover voice actor. Of course, you can see for your voice as well,
Yeah.
very nice voice. So, so tell me a little bit about your career, how everything started.
So the voices side of things. But when I first started doing voice persons, my voice wasn't deep or anything. It wasn't nice. It was like really high pitched and squeaky. But I started doing voice persons like cartoon characters and stuff when I was 13 years old. Started off
Wow.
with SpongeBob, all that stuff. And then 16 came along, my voice broke, went down to the deeper end of the pool. And from there, people started saying like, I had a really nice voice, telling me I should voice over for like audiobooks and stuff. Had people ask me to talk to them while they fall asleep.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a bit of a interesting life with the whole voicing. I only started doing voiceover training last year, so I got trained by someone called Chris Akawa, who's I don't know if he's like super well known, but he's got a lot of credits underneath him.
Wow.
And yeah, so I got my training done, got the demo reels all sorted, so it's kind of just starting to try and dig my way into the industry.
That's amazing. I think, when you have the talent, when people are spotting on it, you need to, explore somehow. You need to
Hmm.
get, explored because that's when opportunities came along and things start to open up. And I think it's amazing for you to use your talents. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. And the acting career always been part of your life?
So acting, unfortunately, no, I wasn't very smart as a kid. So when I used to love doing acting and drama at school in years eights and stuff, but I didn't choose it as a GCSE for some reason, even though I should have. And then even when I went to college, still didn't choose anything to do with acting. Even though it was the thing I wanted to do, I kept choosing like the safe options because obviously acting is not an easy industry to break into. But yeah, I started like really getting into it with the local theater group, Bunbury Players. I did two shows with them, and then recently I've done scare acting for the last 2 years, which is paid work.
Hmm.
On top of that, I've done a few little bits of Minecraft role plays where I did a few episodes of voiceover for those.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, recently it's starting to like catch up now. All those things are starting to kind of pile together. But yeah, scare acting is great fun.
Amazing. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
Hmm.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Oh, yeah, it sounds like an interesting mid-journey down memory lane.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just first to relax before the first question. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Okay, so before I start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Yep.
Amazing. First question is, if you could have dinner with anyone, living or not, who that would be and why?
Ooh. I'd probably say Robin Williams, because he's kind of been a big inspiration for like the whole voice side of thing in the acting. Because obviously he was a really selfless person and obviously very funny,
Mm-hmm.
despite how his life tragically came to an end. Um, but yeah, I grew up like watching a lot of stuff like obviously Mrs. Doubtfire, Flubber, Hook. Oh, what else was
Mm-hmm.
there? There's a whole bunch of things. But yeah, no, he
Wow.
was definitely a very skilled actor, and obviously looking up to someone like that, someone who's got so much talent, it was kind of a big push towards where I wanted to head towards in life. So yeah, I feel like I'd have dinner with him, try and pick up some tricks of the trade.
Wow. And if you, of course, if he would still be with us and you had the opportunity to go for dinner with him, what would be your first question to him?
I'd probably ask him what his inspiration was, because obviously it's interesting to know or understand what brought a person to the point in life where they decided what they wanted to do for the rest of their lives. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you want to find out what his initial inspiration for being an actor or for helping people and all that. Because I know even in his contracts as well, whenever he did movies, he had this specific thing in his contracts that they had to hire homeless people to be extras and stuff on sets and help with like behind the camera stuff.
Wow. Interesting. I
Yeah,
didn't know that. That's
yeah.
interesting. Oh,
He would
wow.
even go out as well and actually speak to these homeless people and hire them to work on sets with him.
Oh, wow. My God, just made my day now. Learned something new. I never heard that before.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow, great. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, next question is, if I would ask your best friend right now to define yourself in one positive and one negative word only, what your best friend would say about you?
Um, I think they'd probably say I'm caring for the good thing. For the negative side, probably very stubborn.
Interesting.
I'm a
And
very stubborn person, yeah.
in saying that, when you think about yourself, when you analyze Jason, what's the biggest joy of being you?
Um, I guess my ability to be able to make people smile, because obviously with the voice impressions, it's not just a skill I can just keep here and like have to hide. I can use it around to make people smile, especially if they're medics. So I know a lot of people they like to reminisce and hear their own characters, especially if they're like saying something they want them to say. That'd be yeah, it's pretty fun.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, so before the next question, you know, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a voiceover? What do you like the most about it? And what's the most challenging parts that you find so far?
So since I'm still pretty fresh in the pool of voiceover, I'd say the fun part is obviously not having to go anywhere. So, because I'm in my bedroom, I can literally just get out of bed, get ready, then I'm sat down and can work. I'd say the hardest part about it is, yeah, like I said, like trying to get into it because it's obviously a very competitive thing now. It's something that people can literally do from home. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun getting to sit here just speaking to a mic and have fun and do whatever you want. But yeah, it's definitely a challenging thing to push into.
And you need to like to do some exercise with your voice. You need to train every day. Do you have like some style that you need to, be more strong? Or how does work your schedules?
So for me, it seems to be. I think my voice impressions are kind of my exercise because
Uh-huh.
every voice has like a different placement for a different thing. So it's always like I'm always exercising my vocal cords anyway.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I think I've got like a bit of a head start in there. I'm not sure what people who don't do impressions do. I know like there's like drinking tea and honey and stuff like that, or things to kind of loosen up the vocal cords. They say singing is a good thing.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, for me, it's mostly I think my voice impressions or the voices and the noise and stuff I do kind of loosen
Wow,
everything up a bit.
amazing. Okay, can you ask the next question with one of their voice that you do it? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Right. Okay. Next question is, tell us about your best holidays and why you consider that.
Uh, I would say my best holiday was 2018. Went to Florida for Disney World and Universal Studios. I got to meet Stitch, which was awesome. The queue was huge, and we had to wait there for a good while, but it was worth it. And then in Universal Studios, I actually said hi to SpongeBob in his voice. I was like, "Hi, SpongeBob. Hi, Squidward." And yeah, it was great fun because it was like really warm, not humid temperatures, like really, really nice heat, and just a lot of fun.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And this voice is something that you just came out with, or it just is from some characters?
So this is SpongeBob's voice.
It's
Hi,
SpongeBob.
hi, hi, Squidward. Hi, Sandy. Ah,
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
the first when I this was the first one I learned because I did the laugh first. I don't know why the laugh was the easiest thing to learn, and then over time, the voice kind of started like getting in. There's some voices I learned like just by making random sounds, and then it just happened. But other voices kind of have take time practice.
Amazing. Wow, I love it. My goodness. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, next question is, what is a significant event that has changed you?
Hmm. I don't know. There's been a lot that's happened. I'd say possibly my original TikTok account because
Mhm.
it for a while when it was still called Musically, it was like stuck at 163 followers. And then around 2020, I think it was. Yeah, 2020. I went live at one point. No, it was 2019. No, sorry. I went live around October time, and I had a pair of elf ears I didn't have any use for, so I put them on because I was bored. Went live, and the elf ears of voices seemed to do something because by December I'd gained another 14,000 followers. So
Oh,
that big growth kind of may change things. I think it's kind of got me more into the side of social media things because it means I have something somewhere I can make a difference, make someone happy if they're having a bad day, stuff like that.
totally. And do you have like some schedules to go live on TikTok, or do you post video every day? How does work your schedules?
Ooh, so I try to have a schedule, but
Mhm.
I think there's like my brain just seems to kind of uh do things in its own way, especially because I'm diagnosed with anxiety and depression, so my daily life's kind of affected by my mental
Right.
state most days. So it's kind of a hit and miss with me going live and posting videos, but I do still kind of try and keep to a schedule. Like I say, I'll go live the next day, and then I have notifications set up in my Discord server, so if people are in there, they get notified of when my live starts. Because I know
Wow.
TikTok's notifications are a bit hit and miss. Um, but yeah, so the schedule, I do need to work on one and try and stick to it. But yeah, at the moment, it's kind of just post when I can, make content when I can, and then do live whenever I have the energy because I know I'm exhausted quite a lot of the time. Yeah.
Next question, ready?
Hmm.
Let's do it. Next question. Okay, next question for you is there a dream you always had?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to kind of have like my own business, um, and even like a community-based thing as well alongside it. So I've been trying to start a sublimation business, which is like printing designs out on a specific type of paper with like sublimation ink, and then you heat press it to the product. So it could be mugs, bookmarks. I've actually got one here. It's like stuff like this. It's a metal bookmark.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that. I haven't been able to recently because I had a little bit of complications last year where I was out the country for a while. Wasn't planning on returning and then ended up having to return, but all my stuff was kind of packed away. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I want to start something like that and like combine my voiceover with it. So then there's like QR codes people can scan whenever they buy these products. They could have their own audio attached to that QR code or audio that's already pre-made, and then they can just scan it whenever they want to listen to it. So yeah, that's one of my dreams.
Oh, wow. And tell me the idea, when this idea came along.
I think I was watching, or I came across someone who did sublimation, and for some reason it just really piqued my interest because I like creating things. I like to make stuff, and the whole process of it was kind of interesting because obviously it's like heavily reliant on heat and stuff to fuse these things, and it's more permanent. It's not something that can just fade away over time. So yeah, I think watching that person do the stuff and see how it was all done was like I was like, oh, that looks really interesting. I want to do that.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Very good. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, so before the next question, tell me what's the meaning of life for you, Jason?
Well, I guess most people would probably say 42, but for me,
It's
I'd
funny
say
because,
it's not.
sorry, it's funny you saying that because I had a lovely man here on the show and I asked him the same question. He said 42 and I was confused. I was like, what do you mean by that? And he explained that to me afterwards.
Yeah, 42 is supposed to be the answer to life. Yeah, I don't know how, but
Sorry, you can
um,
carry on. Yeah.
very good. But yeah, no, I'd say with life, it's trying not to focus too much on the bad, because obviously when the good stuff comes, it seems like it's here and gone so quickly, and then the bad stuff kind of just overtakes everything. But I think it's more that the good stuff is there, but because of the bad stuff taking things down so fast and so heavily, that we don't remember to like notice all the good things around us, and we kind of lose focus on what our lives are really providing for us. I
Mm-hmm.
know I tend to do that quite a bit, and I'm trying not to. We're slowly getting there, but yeah, I think it's more just trying to keep up with the positivity. I mean, my blood type's be positive, which is ironic. Um, so yeah, I definitely say it's the life. The meaning of life for me is like trying to keep up with the positivity, trying to notice when it is there, and even though that it's there, even with the bad times coming in.
Tell me a life lesson that life has taught you that you feel very grateful for.
Um, that not everyone is kind. Because
Mm.
I know I've grown up being very trusting of people in the past, and it's gotten me into some horrible situations. Um, so I've learned to be very careful of who I trust and who I interact with, because I don't want to constantly throw myself into a deep end of trouble and issues. So yeah, I'd
Totally.
say yeah, not knowing that not everyone's a kind person is definitely a good lesson to learn.
And when you think about, you mentioned in the beginning of the interview that you grew up in London, yeah? That's where you were born.
Mhm. Yeah.
So tell me, how was for you growing up in London, in your experience?
It was pretty good. I mean, I missed the public transport because the public transport up here is awful. It's one bus every hour if you don't drive. But yeah, no, living in London, like having the things so close together and being able to actually go to places and go do things was definitely something I enjoyed growing up. Um, I was always cautious because the church near my house always had a coffin outside of it. So I was like, am I gonna end up in one of those one day? Um, because obviously London's a kind of it's a rough place to live, especially if in terms of crime.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, it's definitely I miss it a lot, 'cause especially noise. It's too quiet up here. I miss the noise and everything, the hustle and bustle of the city life.
I see. Okay. Next question is, tell us a funny story or a moment that happened to you when you were a child at school.
Ooh. Um, well, this is not so much a story, it's more of a 3 year thing. Every year at school, we'd have these costume parties, or not costume parties, costume competitions. So we'd all come in dressed up as our favorite characters and stuff. And I won the costume or the costume competition 3 years running. 2 of the years I wore the same costume. So I was like, oh, nice. Um, but yeah, no, that was really definitely fun. I think we only won bookmarks and stuff. So it wasn't like an amazing prize, but it was still nice to win. Um, but yeah, no, the primary school was definitely some of the best years.
Did you like school growing up?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It was a bit hit and miss because obviously, in school, being a shy kid or being a nice kid, you don't tend to have many friends because everyone's like, oh yeah, if you're not cool and you're not all this and that, you then we ain't got time for you. But over the years, I ended up becoming friends with pretty much everybody. I was like in the middle. I wasn't an unpopular kid, but I wasn't a super popular kid. Um, So yeah, I was kind of sat in the middle, so where everybody kind of liked me. I think I actually had one of the popular girls had a crush on me once. I don't remember.
Oh. And who was your favorite teacher? Do you remember?
um, hmm. In my first secondary school before we moved up from London, his name was Mr. T. He wasn't so much a teacher; he was a mentor. So he helped like students like speaking to them, taking them out, or he would take me out of classes sometimes, and we'd go do fun things,
Wow.
which was great. It was nice spending time with him. He was an awesome teacher. But yeah, I missed having him around because he was awesome. I think I'm friends with him on Facebook, so I haven't spoken to him in a little bit, but yeah. And in my second school or second secondary school, it was probably who would it have been? I'd probably say Mr. Goodenough because he had the same birthday as me.
Oh, wow. And when is your birthday?
27th of November.
27th of November.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 17th of November.
Oh, nice. I should have been the 20th, but I was a week late.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. And do you like celebrating birthdays, or for you just a normal day?
I mean, I used to, but for like the first few years of my 20s, every time my birthday came around, something either near my birthday or on my birthday went wrong. I think one year I lost a friend. I don't know what happened, but he died to
Wow.
something about 11 days before my birthday.
Wow.
The second year, I was supposed to go to an event, but my car's battery had gone flat, so we had to wait for someone to come start it, and we ended up being late for that. We ended up going watching Ghostbusters though, and then the third one I can't remember what happened, but it was like, yeah, my birthdays in the 20s have kind of been dull. Like I want to do something fun, but where I live there isn't much to do unless you got like a ton of money, which most people don't these days.
I see. Okay. 2 questions left. Let's do it. You like dancing?
If I could, probably, but I'm not much of a dancer unless it's like the songs where everyone's doing the same thing, like the Macarena.
Before the next question, of course, you mentioned already about Robin Williams. That was is one of your big inspiration. But tell me 3 names of 3 different artists that for you always be inspired by besides Robin Williams.
So I know Jim Carrey would be another one, because he's obviously had a very substantial career, and especially in comedy. Other than that, who else would it be? I'd probably say Zac Efron because he's had quite a broad range of things as well. Especially like High School Musical, obviously was there Greatest Showman, 17 again. For a third one, who else would there be? Maybe Matt Lucas.
Okay.
Because he's pretty heavy comedy, like especially like Little Britain. Oh no, wait, Rick Mayall would have been one. Rick Mayall was a good actor.
I see. Okay, so one day you're gonna wake up in the morning with 3 missed calls on your phone. One from Zac Efron, one from Jim Carrey, and the other one from this actor just mentioned right now.
Rick Mayall,
Which one you call back straight away? Which one you send a message? I'll call you back later. And the third one, you don't call back. You don't send a message. You just ignore him. Tell me.
Ooh. I'd probably call back Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like you said, he's had a pretty substantial career, so definitely something to give him. Text Rick Mayall because obviously he's a legend in the comedy world as well, and slapstick humor and all that. And then I probably leave Zach on dial.
Oh my God. Amazing. But funny enough, I had an interview with a lovely man last week, and he's a big fan of Jim Carrey as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's an actor in Arizona in the US, and he was like, wow. Yeah. Okay, next question is, what's the best advice have you ever received?
Oh. See, that's a hard one because I don't tend to be the one that receives help. I'm the one who gives it. So,
let's put the opposite. So what's the best advice you have given to someone?
Probably to not underestimate their value, their worth. Because I know I've met a lot of people who have been in like toxic relationships, and they've not known what to do or undervalued themselves because of the people that they've been with. So yeah, I think telling them not to undervalue their worth or value, and to kind of look for the best ways to get out of that situation would probably be the best advice I've probably given someone.
Amazing. Saying that, what would be the title of your memoir?
The title of my memoir? All the mistakes not to make.
I love that. Amazing. Love the honesty. Last question, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last question. Before the last question, people who, when they follow you on TikTok, when they come to your lives to see your performance, tell me something that would you like to people to take with them. What's the message that you always wanted to people, when they see you on stage, or when they see you, do your voiceover, or when they see your lives on TikTok? What's something about it that you'd like people to take with them?
That they're not alone in anything, which is what most of my videos kind of push across, especially with the voiceover things, and to kind of be yourself. Because I know with TikTok, people rely heavily on doing duets or doing lip syncs to things, and they're not usually being themselves.
Mhm.
And because obviously that's kind of the thing people do to get big on social media. They put on this persona and just act. And I'm like, that's all good and done if you're doing it like here and there, but being yourself, you kind of need to have that, because if you don't have yourself, then you've got nothing. You're just like a body playing these different characters,
Totally.
which is why I try and be more me, because I don't want to fall into that trap of pretending to be someone and then eventually wanting to be myself and losing all those people because they've seen someone different and then this person's unrecognizable.
I totally agree with you, Jason. I think when you are yourself, the right people will come, the wrong people would leave. I know sometimes it's not easy to be your truly self, but trust me, when you are yourself, you don't have anything heavy on your shoulders. You just can be your truly self.
Yeah.
Be you. I know sometimes it cannot be possible, cannot be easy for some people for different reasons. But for me, the meaning of success is when you can be your truly self, when you are free. It's like being free, freedom. You don't hold anything in your shoulders, on your back. You just follow your truly self. I totally agree with you. Amazing. I love the message. Right. Last question is, what do you like the most about your best friends?
For my best friends, I'd say the level of support whenever I've needed it. But I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm not one to tend to go and get support. I'm tend to one to give it, but sometimes my friends will give it anyway because they're like, "You're too stubborn. I'm just gonna do it." But yeah, no, I'd say it's definitely the level of support that I've gotten from some of my friends. Like, there's been a lot in the last year or so where it's gone nuts, where I've been caught up in those situations with bad people, like obviously the ones that I thought were kind and they're not. Um, so yeah, that's definitely a big part of what I like about my best friends.
Okay, so your best friends that are watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message. What would you say?
I thank them for everything they've done for me, for sticking by even when I've been a complete pain in the butt. Because I know with my anxiety as well, whenever I freak out about situations that I'm caught in, I tend to ramble on a lot. Over a message, I send massive paragraphs, constant messages, freaking out, and then I know that can get annoying. So thanking them for sticking around, that would be definitely something that I would put through there.
Beautiful, beautiful. I can see them smiling right now. Watch this interview. Beautiful. Okay, so at the end yet, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Okay, quick thinking. And if you could do different voices for different words, can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So let's start with money.
Greed.
Family.
Friendship.
Life.
Death.
Love.
Happiness.
I love it. Religion.
Church.
Sex.
Oh, condom.
I love it. Politics.
Government.
Friendship.
Bracelets.
Desire.
Dream.
Regret.
Sadness.
Success.
What voice can I do with this one?
You can use your
wealth.
okay. You can use your voice as well, of course. Happiness.
Loved ones.
I love this voice, Jason. You just did right now. Very soft. I love it. I'd like to repeat it again with this one. One word for Suffolk.
Quiet.
My God, I love it. One word for England.
Torn, darling.
One word for voiceover.
Fun.
Acting. One word.
Storytelling.
Amazing. And the last one now, Robbie Williams. One word.
Inspiration.
Beautiful. I love it. My God. Thanks so much for doing that. Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friends again for a coffee, and I'm going to ask them, tell me the most beautiful thing about Jason. What do you think they would say?
I have a feeling as a joke they'd probably say my eyes because a lot of people comment on my eyes. But yeah,
Actually, I would say that I was actually when I saw you for the first time on TikTok, I was like, my goodness, that's very beautiful eyes. That's straight away
yeah.
for sure.
I think they'd say over caring, but like not in a bad way.
Mhm.
Obviously it's it can be a little bad to care too much, but yeah, they definitely say probably over caring.
Amazing. Okay, let's play now, Jason, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before I ask him the question, during the interview, you mentioned about, some people, you're not kind for you, or you kind of learn some lessons. My question for you is, have you forgiven those people?
Some yes, some no. It depends on the extent of what they've done.
I see.
Yeah, so it's more of the severity of the situations. If it's not too bad and it's been a while, I feel like I've gone past it, and yeah, I can let it go and forgive them for it. But yeah, sometimes it's just not something you can
Totally.
push away.
Take time. Yeah, it sometimes takes time for you to digest this whole thing, and I know it's hard, but we get there one day for sure. You can ask me a question now, Jason.
I was gonna ask, what is some of the kindest acts you've seen in life?
My God, what a beautiful question, Jason. What's the kindest thing I've seen? My God, you put me right this spot, and I love it. I love it. you know, okay, I'm thinking about different because I think that you know, I don't know if it happened to you, Jason, but sometimes when I see people, like could be the train, could be in the bus, could be in the street, could be in the park, when I see people doing something to others or a gesture, for me, it warms my heart. I don't know for you, but I feel like, oh my God, I spot straight away and I go like, my God, it's so beautiful to see someone doing something to that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell one that happened to me that I found a very, was something that I always remember. So I'm an early bird. I love waking up early. Like for me, it's always, I feel the greatest in the morning. I know I'm a weirdo, but yes. And I remember once I was going to work, and it was went to the bus, and early morning the bus, everyone's like half asleep, everyone is kind of get their way. And I remember once I sat down, there was a lady by my side, and she was kind of doing her makeup and everything. I was like, my God, so early morning, and she's already, doing her makeup and everything. And she was on her thing, like on her words. And I sat by her side, and the trip was going. And suddenly, I started coughing a little bit, but not like a bad cough. I just literally started coughing a little bit. I even kind of put my hand like that, and I carry on. And suddenly, she just opened her purse, her bag, and she offered me some like tissue, something. And I was like, my God, I know it's simple. I know it's something very, but it touched my heart because she looked at me, she just showed me like a pack of tissue. And I was like, no, no, I'm okay. Thanks so much. So for me, it came to my mind that because it was a stranger, it was someone that, nowadays, big cities like London, we are so focused in our own life that sometimes we don't even see surround us, you know what I mean? We can hear noises, and it's not a bad thing. It's just sometimes we're trapped in our own words in our heads. And this lady, she literally showed, I'm talking to you now, I can picture the scene when she literally showed me, gave me this tissue, and I was like, oh no, thank you so much. And for me, that's, I was thinking to myself, my God, how amazing some people, they, they still, there's some kindness around the world. There are some people that, they these little gestures, my God, she doesn't even, like, she has no idea how much it touched me, just, offer me this tissue. So I think that's something that's, it comes to my mind, but I could tell you so many others, Jason, that, sometimes I see people, helping others with their luggage, or, offering to their seats. For example, it actually happened today. Today I was come back home, and I was on the tube, and was a bit busy, like rush hour. And this elderly lady, she came with her maybe her husband or her brother, and she kind of was staying a little bit. And I could see that she didn't want a seat. However, nobody kind of stand up to offer the seat. And I just look at her. I was like, would you like to have a seat? You know what I mean? And she looked at me and said, no, 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 I'm okay. Thank you so much. Because I was about to ask if someone could, give up their seats to her. But I just asked her first because I didn't want to put her in a situation, you know what I mean? I said, oh, would you like to sit some? Because I was standing as well. I wasn't sitting, I was standing. But I could see her, like, nobody kind of, offer. And I was like, let me ask her just in case, because sometimes people, they are shy, you know what I mean, to ask a seat or something. And she looked at me, she was like, no, 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 I'm okay, thank you so much. So, those things for me, it's those small things, it touched my heart, because, and when I was leaving the tube, she kind of, waved for me. And I was like, oh, you see, sometimes people, they understand your body language. You don't need even to say things sometimes. So yeah, I would say this tissue that the lady offered to me that day, that's, it touched me somehow, very early morning for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Great question. Did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Thanks again, Jason. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being so kind. We got in touch yesterday, and you were very sweet. You're like, oh yeah, let's do it. Why not? And I think it's amazing to see someone like you, so young, and you are exploring your voice, exploring your talent. Carry on, because I know I can see how much potential you have, and I think it's amazing for you to be doing something special. It's a gift for sure for you to be able to do that. It's a gift. So explore it and carry on for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
So yeah, like I said before, obviously don't undervalue yourself. Don't undervalue your worth. If you've got something you love to do and you want to do it, go do it. Because the world is not getting easier, as we are all very much aware. So the best time to take the opportunity is the moment you're thinking it. If you want to do it, just do it. Because I've hesitated a lot. I'm at an age where I'm 25 now. If I had started sooner, I could probably been a lot further ahead. But I'm starting now. It may be a little too late, but better late than never. So yeah, I definitely say that. Like, if you got a dream, chase it.
Never too late. There are no rules about saying you need to be this age, that age. There are no rules. I think the world is an open book for sure.
Yeah, you don't want the regret of waiting.
Totally amazing. Okay, so enjoy weekends. Thanks again for the interview, and keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay?
Yep, no worries. Thank you.
Have a good night. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.